Well, my name's Robert Caruso. I'm with a company called SocialResolve, and we're in the social media space. We have a technology that we're just launching next week, as a matter of fact, called Bundle Post. And it's really in the social media space for those utilizing social media for a marketing platform and a way to engage and develop great relationships with prospects and existing customers. Okay, so the point what you made here was that I don't have a college degree. I actually didn't even finish high school, and I really don't have a problem with that. I was blessed with some incredible common sense and ability to work through problems and understand various technologies. So I would just look out there and say to you, all of it, I don't care what piece of paper you have. I don't care whether you have paper or not. It really doesn't matter to me. All I care is what you do. And there's nothing that you can't accomplish. You can do the work and get yourself educated one way or another. And Hard Knocks can be very effective, but it can take a lot of time. So make sure that you surround yourself with people that have the ability to get you educated on the areas of technology or business that are important to you. If you're sitting there and you do have a piece of paper, and maybe you're thinking that you're better, or have a little bit of an arrogance about that, I will absolutely caution you. I will tell you that you might be starting out with a little bit of base knowledge, but you have no concept of what it's like out there. And the box that you were taught to think in doesn't exist. And so just be very careful thinking that you're in a place that is better. I don't have a box, so there's nothing out there that in my mind can't be accomplished, and I will find the resources, the technology, the capability, or the people to accomplish those things, and that's an advantage that I have. I'm very fortunate to have that. The other thing that was brought up, that when I was 20, I had a 55-employee marketing company. I had 4 people in my IT group, and those people controlled my company based on my ignorance about technology. And I got tired of bringing in projects that they would tell me our technology couldn't accomplish. And when that happened one too many times, I decided to take a Saturday and learn to code the logic programming language of our system and understand the syntax and actually code the project that they told me couldn't be accomplished. And I did that on a Saturday and prepared the project and had it ready for the data to be loaded on Monday. And that's not because I'm great, but because I refuse to be ignorant about something that enables somebody else to control my destiny. Or the destiny of success of my company. So it behooves me to do the work to understand what technologies are out there, how they come together, and so on, so that when I hand development off to my chief technology officer or others that I will consult with, I have a very deep understanding of the technologies that need to be used to put it together to be effective, whether to get it developed quickly, to make sure that it complies with certain capabilities that are required, browser technologies, Web 2.0 features, functionality, look, feel, etc., etc. It's your responsibility as an entrepreneur to know that. You do not hand over your dream to a firm or an individual in your company that can control how it comes together, whether it comes together, how quickly it comes together, or whether it will achieve the ultimate goal of your product or service. Oh boy, I think that question would be a little bit faster to answer if we answered what hurdles didn't we overcome. You know, the tech business, as well as marketing and social media, has changed in a dramatic fashion over the past 5 years. You know, it's really gone from ideas being funded to massive growth to crashing and burning, all in a short time span, to not much in the way of funding being done for the startup. So the mind shift has to occur in everybody's thought process that we're going to make a profitable company. We're going to do it with meager means. And therefore we need to do it very quickly. We need to have a value proposition that's easily understood by everybody out there in the marketplace, and we need to get to revenue and proof of concept right away. So developing, and I had this conversation over the past 2 weeks with my chief technology officer. Many people always look at the perfect scenario, and you can't do that any longer in the tech business. There's a bar that I call good enough. You have to get to good enough that transitions from an idea to a product of value that people will exchange money for. From that point, you can add and develop and improve and add additional functionality, but you must get to good enough right now and get it in the marketplace. So that's something we absolutely had to overcome. That's a very difficult thing for me to answer because I don't know anything. I might stumble, I might get a scrape, but it doesn't matter what comes at you. You know, liken it to the old Flash games where you stay still and the road's coming at you, and there's constantly things coming at you in the startup world that we live in. But you hit, and in that same moment or instance that your body hits, you must get up and continue that momentum. So there's all kinds of things: capital, technology obstacles that seem insurmountable. There's you know, the total marketplace change, the economy change. There's all kinds of things that will present itself as a hurdle that will catch your toe and make you, you know, smack the ground. That's just inevitable. You know, we could go into all kinds of detail about all of those, but I don't think it's necessary. What I think is necessary for people to always understand is you have to get up. And your mindset has to be, I'm getting up before I even hit the ground. And have a plan for what am I going to do next. Oh boy. I'm going to answer that question a little bit differently. And probably differently than you guys would like or expect. The resources I don't find helpful for me as an individual are the large organizations, associations, and groups. What I find extremely helpful is the people that I know, respect, and trust. Those are the people that have been there and done it. Those are the resources that are invaluable, because as you execute your idea, your business plan, and ultimately, because it all boils down to your financial model, as you execute those things, the people that have the resources in the form of money, in the form of knowledge, in the form of contacts, will automatically gravitate towards you and be extremely helpful to you. So I would say that keep your cards fairly close to your vest. Don't take advice from or resources, quote unquote, from folks that haven't done it. There's a lot of people in different tech sectors across the country that are phenomenal. They've been there, they've done that, albeit in different times. But there's a lot of folks out there that might have some money, might have some experience, but neither of them relate to what it is that you do, the economy that we live in today, and the market that we're experiencing. So just be, it would just be a caution to you to be careful of the resources that you utilize. Read a lot, but filter what you read. What I mean by that is, again, don't read articles from people telling you how to do something that haven't done it for 5-10 years. Have been sitting, you know, in Taj Mahal as an editor, writing stuff that they don't experience on a day-to-day basis. So, and I don't mean to be negative. I mean this to be positive. I've seen thousands, literally thousands, since 1998. Thousands of tech entrepreneurs that get plugged into groups, organizations, or people or individuals that have no concept of actually executing in the particular environment we're in at that moment. And so I would say that you have to use your head and be sure to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, doing what you're attempting to do right here and now today. I don't know. I don't know that I can really answer that. My worldview is very, very different. I don't see an abyss ever. I don't see a chasm. I see bridges and opportunities. You know, you can set your focus on things that are catastrophic, or you can, because you know your market so well, because you know what you do so well and where you're going and who your audience is and your target market, that you've planned for contingencies. So you've already built at least the foundations of bridges that go multiple ways. So again, I guess it's a cautionary tale rather than a direct answer, in that if you haven't already considered what those chasms are, those potholes, those deep, dark places, and what they could potentially be, then you haven't done your job. You know, I had a mentor, and I won't name him, but a very prolific individual in the chief financial officer segment of the tech world. And this is somebody I learned a tremendous amount from. And there was two things that he told me that really sunk into me. Most companies succeed in spite of themselves, not because of themselves. So that really requires that you're at least smart enough to be at the right place at the right time with the right solution, and you're smart enough to understand your marketplace and where you fit and how you're going to get there very, very quickly. Some of the rest of it is left up a little bit to chance, and by placing yourself at that place and time. The other thing is, you know, you have to know your market. You have to know who your customer is, the value that you're bringing to them, and ensure that no matter what happens in the marketplace that's unforeseen by you, you have planned appropriately. One of my favorite quotes is, "A plan is worthless, but planning is everything." And what that means, if we look at you know, World War II, how many plans did they make? But they didn't stop planning, right? So when this plan didn't work, when that beach was heavily fortified, you must continue, but you might have to approach it a different way. And so I would just say, there is nothing in front of you that is insurmountable in the form of an abyss. It's, did you do your work up front? Are you constantly thinking? The other thing that mentor told me that's something crazy to think about. Oftentimes, in those days, the IT group fell under a chief financial officer, depending on the organization he was with. One of the rules he had, if he walked into an IT group and people were coding, they got fired. Think about that. The value that you're bringing to your tech organization is not banging code. It's this. Your feet should be on the desk thinking. You should be coding a very minimal amount of time because you thought appropriately through the obstacles, the abyss that we're talking about here. And so that when it comes time to code, you know exactly what you're coding on. You know, look, I want to make a massive impact in the world, in the social media industry itself. I'm a proven example that anybody can be successful in the social media space. I made a decision very early on that I was going to learn social media and how to be effective in this space, not by reading or following other people. And I've never followed the gurus, the experts, and so on. And I could get into a long dissertation as to why, but I don't think it's necessary per se. So the point is, no, I didn't get any help getting to the place that I'm at. But my focus is helping other people achieve that. And not only do I do that through writing and providing articles about social media that help people understand ways to use it, ways not to use it, things to watch out for, but also in providing technologies that will make people more efficient. And so that is incredibly inspiring to me, making the overall social graph a more effective relationship and marketing platform for business and individuals. Beyond that, without a doubt, God and my children are my inspiration. That's why I do what I do. It's why I help people the way I do. But my mission in life, very simply, my religion says that true religion is taking care of orphans and widows. I don't know the first thing about doing that, but there's hundreds of people that are out of seminary that do. So my mission is to create an enormous amount of wealth to enable to support those people to do that, and fly around and dig post holes in orphanages and to hug on kids. That I can do, to support the people that have the knowledge, the ability, the contacts, the relationships to support those people. That's what inspires me. I think I absolutely covered that already. I mean, you know, when I see my kids and the blessing that they are to me, the inspiration that they give me, it only makes me want to help others. And so I think that kind of all has culminated into being involved in Metro Toy Drive. And when I was contacted by Wen, the director and founder of Metro Toy Drive, to help them get into the social graph and expand what they were doing, which originated here in Oregon and is now growing into Washington and then down to Southern California and then nationwide. Our largest partner, and I don't mind plugging, is Starbucks. So we appreciate Starbucks, the fact that they got involved and see the value of what we do, of not just helping kids in need during a holiday season, forgetting about them the rest of the year, but impacting the lives of kids regardless of whether it be their birthday, a tragedy in their life, a medical situation, graduation, or just flat rough times, back to school, whatever it might be, that we can impact a child's life and let them know that we think they're valuable, bring a smile to their face through toys, is just an incredible thing. So I'll say, the organization of Metro Toy Drive is something that inspires me and makes me do what I do 18 hours a day, every day.